What's going on, rock stars? Welcome back to another episode of The 1% Life. I'm your host, peak performance coach and trainer, JonieDhillon. We're talking about detoxing your mind for performance. Before we jump into today's episode, if you are listening to us live on Facebook, drop a hashtag live. If you are listening to the replay, drop a hashtag replay. And rockstar, if it's your first time listening, put a 1 in the comments. And if you're a repeat listener, you know the rules. Is it a rule or is it just what we do around here? Drop it too, so I know that you are, you're just one of our homies that returns every day. And we love to see you Monday through Friday here on the 1% Life Show. For those of you listening on the podcast, man, if you get value out of today's episode, can I just ask you a favor in advance? And that favor is to leave us a 5-star rating if you get value from today, when you get value, and to leave a review. Take you 1 minute to do so, and it helps us keep this podcast ranking up and reaching people across the world. So thanks in advance for that. And if you know somebody who should be listening to this, tag them in the comments below. Rockstars, we're talking about detoxing your mind. What does it mean and why do we do it? So here's why this topic has come up for me today. Today, my partner and I just began a 10-day detox, which I have a feeling, because I know me, that I'll extend it out longer. And this is a body detox, right? We are doing 70% water-soluble foods, which means fruits and vegetables, mostly vegetables, and lots of water. So my goal is to drink a gallon of water a day, and no caffeine for me, no dairy, no wheat, no sugar, and what else am I? No meats, which I don't eat, but no fish, no seafood. So literally the last couple nights we're like pigging out, eating all kinds of crazy, good stuff, and like, I don't know, just fried stuff and stuff that's not good for you, only because we're like, let's just have fun for a night or two, right? And now we're going to go into a detox. So why do I bring this up? How many of us think about detoxing our bodies for optimal performance, right? There's all these toxins we accumulate from our environment. Now, you don't have to do a whole lot to accumulate toxins in your body. In fact, you just have to be alive anymore, right? There's so much from radiation, from EMFs, from 5G, from the food that we eat, the boxed and prepared food that most of the world eats, or at least this country, a lot. It goes to, what do you call those? Just the not so good food. If it's in a box or a container, I learned early on, stay away from it. And if at all possible, because it's not serving you. So we go into these, if you've done a detox before, maybe you're on a cleanse right now with me, there's a big detox movement going on at the moment. Let me know if you've done this. And why is it that we think so much about, okay, I'm going to just go healthy. I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to supplement up, or I'm going to just cleanse my body. It's to release, like to flush out all the toxins from our body that have accumulated, right? So that our body can release all that stuff and, just get it out. And what do we do after we detox? Well, then we nutrient up, right? So depending on your detox, so this is not a traditional detox, the one that I'm doing. It's not like a fast or some sort of a juice cleanse or whatever. I'm actually taking in calories, and I'm limiting what the foods that I take to, the highly inflammatory foods, they're out, right? Anything that's highly inflammatory, dairy, highly inflammatory, wheat in this day and age, in the country that we live in, very highly inflammatory, and just getting rid of all of that stuff right now and allowing my body to get to, to operate much better, right? To flush the toxins, pour in the water, cleanse it out. And now you nutrient up, right? And so for me, in this detox, I'm actually nutrienting up as I'm quote unquote detoxing. Celery juice, all that stuff, like just lots of greens. But if you think about somebody, and I don't know, again, this is, before I go into this, this is a medical disclaimer, like go consult with a doctor before you do any detox. I'm giving you zero medical advice and telling you to only do what your doctor says you should do. But you've heard a lot of people who are, who get diagnosed with certain diseases and illnesses, and they go and they, if they choose to heal their body in non-traditional ways, then what many of them will choose to do is to first detox the body from what has accumulated that in their minds has resulted in dis-ease, and then fill the body with the nutrients that's necessary to rebuild, right? healthily. So considering this concept, why is it that more of us are more than likely to do that with our bodies, but not our minds? We don't think of our minds in that way. And I want you to think about for just a moment your mind and all the clutter and toxicity that has accumulated in your mind. What is that potential toxicity, and how does it get there, right? And see, many people don't even think about their minds in this way. They're like, God, I've got all this stuff going on in my mind that's stopping me from performing at levels beyond, what I'm accustomed to. Like, there's another level for you. What you have been given is not what you have to have going forward, right? You can actually get, meaning there's a whole concept between growth mindset and fixed mindset, right? And fixed mindset says that everything that I have in life is I've been given and nothing can ever change. Like, it is kind of what it is, and this is what I'm going to get, in short. Okay. Growth mindset is, I can change that, right? I can change what's going on inside of here, not from just increased positivity, right? There's a difference between mindset, which I believe is just being positive, and brain set, really working underneath all the layers of the stuff that doesn't necessarily, it's not the sexy stuff, it's the stuff that we don't really want to acknowledge. It's happening in the background. It's causing the reactions that you may have with your clients or your behaviors, the negative emotions that come up in random times. You're like, wow, why did I behave like that? Or that's causing the repeated patterns to happen in your life. I was just on a call with an incredible new coaching client, and she was talking about, Joanie, I'm just not consistent. Her next level is she's been in this industry for 3.5 years, and there's a level of performance that she's not yet attained. She's like, I made $90,000 last year. So far this year, pretty close to zero, because January and February didn't start off too hot, and then we entered, COVID crazy, right? And so now that she's back to work, she's like, I want to sell more than I sold last year in the next 5 months from now until the end of the year. And in order for me to do that, what I helped her realize was that it's like, look, if consistency is the problem, wouldn't that be a problem if you weren't consistent every single month from now until the end of the year? Of course, right? Why is it that we go out and reject this if it doesn't apply? But many people, this is a real issue for, especially if they're in a commission position or an entrepreneur, where it's like there's these bursts of activity, like so much sales come in. It's like, oh my God, I'm doing incredibly awesome, so well. And then all of a sudden, no sales or very little for months, right? And she says, I have these great months, like 3 incredible months, top bonuses, and then I won't sell for a couple months. And I said, how long has this been a problem? She says, well, pretty much from the beginning, right? It's been a problem from the beginning. And when I asked her, well, where else is this a problem in your life? She said, I don't know that it is. Maybe back when I was in high school, it was a problem because I didn't finish, or what made she finish, but it was like not the effort, right? When we started looking at it, it was also a problem in her fitness, going full blast towards working out and then falling off, right? So how we do anything is how we do everything. And when you start noticing these patterns that are showing up, that's resulting in your reality right now, the results that you have in your career, in your business, in your sales, whatever it is, even in your relationships, in any area of your life, there's something that caused those results to happen, right? It's the person that you are being today, your identity that's linked completely to the beliefs that you have, the stories that you tell yourself, the skills and the capabilities that you have, and maybe those that you're missing, and going all the way up to the action, the behavior that you take, or the lack of, right? If you know something's going to result in a specific outcome, but you're not taking that action, you're not doing that behavior every day, whether it's pitching bigger deals, whether it's, making the phone calls or doing the reach outs, whatever it is, if you know the specific action that you must be taking and you're not doing it, well, wouldn't you agree that there's something else that's underlying? There is. And I'm gonna give you a quick story and then we'll go back to this. But yesterday I was talking to a client. She says, Joanie, I'm running this network marketing business. I'm doing pretty good. I said, great. Okay, let's talk about it. 17 members. And she's been running this business for 2 years. And I said, what time do you wake up in the morning? 5:30 a.m. Like, cool, good for you. And she changes her clothes. She's not in her pajamas. She's actually like running it like a business in that sense. And then I said, well, what time do you end work? She says, about 10 p.m. Well, how many hours does it take to do what you have to do if you actually did what you have to do? Well, here was the problem. First of all, she said, of my list of 8 things, I got 2 done today. 2 things done. I said, well, how often does that happen? She says, all the time, where I get like 2 to 3 of the entire list of things done. So I said, okay, well, there's clearly a problem. Wouldn't you agree? She said, yes. So when we start looking at that, it's like, what's causing that quote unquote reality, that outcome that's not a desired outcome, is it? It's not what she wants. She actually wants to get everything done off her list, and she wants to get it done in a reasonable hour, because if you have a business, doesn't mean you want to be tied to it 24 hours a day. But the reality was she'd go through the entire day working 17-hour days and getting 2 things done off her list. There's a problem, right? And that problem is not about doing more. She says, I don't have enough time. I said, it's not about time, right? It's not about time management. That's self-management. And the self-management starts here first, inside your mind, right? So we started looking at this. There were belief systems that were actually sabotaging her from getting the results that she wants in her life. So how often are you actually looking at the stuff that's going on in your mind by first examining, okay, where am I right now? Where do I want to be? And what are the belief systems that I currently have that are blocking me from getting there, right? Like, you know what you have, and let's just say it, I'm going to give, sometimes sales is just a really easy example. You're at a certain productivity level, right? Again, it's like, what have you sold or what have you earned from now, if you're 100% commission or an entrepreneur, from the beginning of the month to now. So look at that number. I'm like, okay, here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to be. Well, what are the, if anything were possible, what are the belief systems that are stopping me from getting to that place? Like, oh, well, I believe that it's hard, or I believe that I can't do it. I believe that, I don't have the skills. I don't have enough time. I don't have, all of whatever the things are for you, and reject any of those if they don't apply, versus where are you now and what specific beliefs led to the outcomes that you have now. So when we can really define the gap of where I am now and what specific belief systems got me to this outcome. Am I happy with what I have? Yes or no? Do what I like more? Okay, great. So define that place. What does more mean to me? Meaning, what is, if anything were possible from now until blank date and time, end of the month, end of the year, you get to decide what specific beliefs are preventing me from creating that outcome. That's the stuff we've got to detoxify and cleanse out. Like, figure out what is the stuff that's stopping that. Now, who do I need to believe the beliefs that actually get me that outcome, right? Like, what are those specific beliefs first? Actually, that's the first part. So let me back up just a little. Rewind. What are those specific beliefs? And who do I need to be in order to be that person that creates that outcomes, that has those belief systems, right? This is the work that really needs to be done. This is the identity work that people neglect. And they just say, I got off a call with someone the other day. She's like, going all over the place, running 4 businesses, totally disorganized in not creating outcomes, right? It's like, well, how are you going to do anything when all of your energy and attention splintered in all of these different directions? Who can relate, right? I've certainly been there before. I'm like, oh, I want to do this really well, and I want to do this really well, and I want to do it all, but none of it's happening. Why? Because I was so splintered in all that I wanted to do. And when I saw this in this particular individual, I said, okay, you got to not only clean stuff off the plate, determine if, like, what's a priority right now. And once she figured that out, it's like, okay, well, this is a priority. So focus your attention here. Now, what are the belief systems that have stopped you from doing the activities that you need to do to create the outcome you truly desire? And that's the place that we have to start, right? Is really start asking those questions and allowing our subconscious minds to reveal to us what are those belief systems? What are the ones I currently hold? And then what are the new belief systems for my next level? And then beginning to program those beliefs into your subconscious mind. Program those beliefs into your subconscious mind. And this is where the real work gets to be done, needs to be done, right? It's not about doing more. It's not about fine-tuning your pitch and doing all this other stuff. That's 10% of this equation. This is what people don't get. It's not about, the behavior's not happening because you're not the person who's showing up to do the work, the behavior, to get the outcome. So we have to stop working from the have, do, be model, begin to work from the be, do, have model, and go inside and say, okay, who do I need to be to do what I need to do to have what I want to have? And what's creating the belief systems that are blocking me from that outcome? What are the belief systems that are stopping me from getting there? and start working with your subconscious mind to shift through those belief systems and to program yourself to be the person who gets the results that you want. So rock stars, what are some of the ways that you can do this? So many ways, so many techniques, there's so many ways, and you know, some of which hypnosis, really powerful, right? I mean, we have courses and audios that help people get past their self-limiting beliefs and their blocks and the resistance in their mind to creating wealth, to creating abundance, to creating their next level outcome in their life. Definitely leave a comment or DM me if you want more info on that. There's, you know, there's a lot of deep work that can be done one-on-one with a coach, with a mentor, or really being a part of a program that helps facilitate that process. There's things like EMDR. There's all kinds of stuff. That's some real, like, you got to be committed to do that work. That's a long process in my opinion, but there's a lot of different things. And you know, I really recommend next time we offer the Create Your 1% Life Challenge, join us in that challenge, because we talk to you. I teach you how to begin to program your mind from the inside out to create the results that you truly desire. And if you're interested, you can just go ahead and sign up. We're a couple weeks away from beginning our next challenge, but you can program it into your calendar, get it on in your mind, right? And go to the1percentlife.com. The number 1percentlife.com. So Rockstar, I hope you got value from today's episode, and you're beginning to look at how you see your body and the importance of being healthy, which I know that many of you do because you listen to the show, and your mind in the same way. And how can we pull out the weeds and the clutter and the toxicity that has accumulated in our minds? Many of these beliefs are not ours. You're holding on to toxic beliefs that are holding you back and preventing you from getting to that next level. We all have a next level, right? And so what are those beliefs, identifying them, and then allowing ourselves to, you know, release them, replace them. That's the nutrient aspect of the body. Now we fuel up with new nutrients, replace those negative beliefs that are no longer there with the positive beliefs, empowering beliefs that support you in your goals, support you in your mission, support you in your vision, to getting where you want to be and to having and living that life that you so desire and deserve. Rockstars, hope you got value from today's episode. Drop a yes if you did in the comments below. Share this out. Tag somebody who needs to see this and to be a part of the 1% Life show going forward. And Rockstar, get out there, create an absolutely amazing day, be unstoppable, and change some lives today. They certainly deserve it, and so do you. Peace. Bye, everyone. Will it let me?